There's a lie that I told to you, that now I can't tell the truth, and it ate me inside. So one soft drunken night I slept with a man you knew, and in the morning I walked home alone, and the businessmen saw my bones. With my skirt in their eyes, they remembered the nights when they were that man you knew. You told me once you were happy to have me, but I never gave me away. There's a lie that I told you. I would give you my heart, I think, but it's up in a branch of a tree. It was only to tease when he climbed up the tree, put my heart where I couldn't reach. I didn't mind, I adored him so. We forgot and we left for home, and that was so long ago. Now the tree, it has grown, and nobody knows my lover is buried underground. Nobody knows my lover is buried underground. Nobody knows my lover is buried underground. There's a lie that I told you.
Dear brother, I visited our uncle's grave today with Mom. Odd sight, they haven't put the headstone in yet. It was just earth. I always thought that was part of the burial, somehow immediate. We were just standing over this patch of earth, so nondescript. If I hadn't been with Mom, I wouldn't have known where to stand, where to pray. I pray now. A headstone gives you direction. Here lies someone. Logically, you know the coffin extends beyond, and to read the text, you have to stand on a coffin, on a corpse, on a soul. But you don't think about that when there's a headstone. I hate it all. The whole damned parade. They take up so much space and say so little. Here lies a name. They existed from one date to another. Even trying to get personal becomes formulaic. Son, daughter, loving husband, adoring wife, father, mother. The cycle of life, nothing more. If I should die, take note, brother, I should not like a tombstone. Nothing so blasé. I think I should quite like to be burned to ash and entombed in a statue. Not like an angel or a reaper or something you would expect to see in a graveyard. Model it after the Greek gods. Make it something that would make people stop as they pass and say, well, There lies a unique individual. That's not too much to ask, is it?
It's just me now. Once on an uncertain morning, I got up from my bed, put on a suit and tie, and left to bury my brother. It was a hot day. I remember that it was stifling. That kind of heat that stops you thinking. The whole affair was well attended, though everyone could recognize the tragedy of losing someone so young. It's not the same when someone passes at the appointed time, causes aside. Cancer gets a good turnout, but nothing compares to that loss of potential. Something strange happened, though. Standing there at the grave of my younger brother, I felt unalone. As if, and I know that this sounds crazy, as if he were with me, somehow. It was very comforting. I wish I felt that way today. I could have used that.
It's a bad habit. Sorry. You ever notice how no one smokes anymore? Well, I mean, they still smoke. They just won't admit it. It's lost its allure. It's not sexy anymore. God, remember when you could smoke anywhere? I mean, in a restaurant, in school, at the theater. It seems like a distant memory, but it wasn't that long ago. No, I mean, here, picture someone smoking a cigarette in a restaurant. I mean, you're thinking of the 50s. You're thinking of some Mad Men character. It's a lie. It's a conscious attempt to distance yourself from some perceived ugly truth of society. I mean, my point is, it was a social time. I mean, everyone crowded together, giving each other lights, the smoke making everything sort of hazy. Now everything's a little cleaner, a little further apart, and that uncivil good time is swept under the rug, into the alleyway, far away from anyone's dinners. Ah, well, to each their own, and society be damned. Society really should be damned. I mean, God, choosing what's socially acceptable and what's horrifically unspeakable seemingly at a whim, and it's all... Sorry, I don't mean to seem bitter. It's just remember that one bit about everything being too clean and tidy.
Hey, babe.
Hey! How's it going?
Good. I just got in.
Oh, how was the drive?
Fine.
The department sent over some flowers.
That's good of them.
Oh, Morris called as well. Told you to take all the time you need. Not to worry about the start of next semester. James.
Yeah?
You there?
Yeah.
Did you...
I'm here. I'll call Morris later. I don't think this is going to take very long.
Are you sure?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's just logistics. At this point, the funeral's later this week. After that, it's just packing up the house. Then I can get out of here.
James.
What?
Nothing.
I'll be back for the next semester.
What?
I have a job. I'm going to continue doing that job.
Of course.
Listen, I'm tired. I'll call you later, all right?
You sure?
Yeah.
You don't want me there?
No.
Okay. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Mr. Fitzroy,
Father.
please, have a seat. Let me first say how sorry I am about your parents.
Thank you.
They really were fine people. I actually hadn't known them long at the time of their passing. I'm new to the parish, but they immediately struck me as outstanding citizens. Now, about the funeral.
Yes?
Did they leave any instructions? Any particulars they wanted as part of the service?
Not really. They just said a traditional funeral. Is that a problem?
Not at all. We can take care of everything. Tradition is sort of our thing.
Great.
Will other family be there?
I don't know. I haven't heard. Maybe my aunt?
Is she in the church?
I really wouldn't know.
It's just if you want a family member to do a reading.
I can't?
You're not Catholic.
No.
It's a rule.
Why?
It's just doctrine. I'm sorry.
Of course.
Do you have any stories or personal remembrances you'd like to share? For the service?
I don't.
It's all right.
Me and my parents, we didn't really.
It's fine. More common than you think.
All right. Is there anything else?
That's about it for business.
Great.
How are you coping with it all?
You know? Fine. Really, oddly fine, but you don't want to hear about that from me. You've got a whole flock to manage, right?
It's my job.
To what?
Listen,
What a pair we make. I'm a teacher, it's my job to talk. No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to disappoint us both. I'll see you at the funeral, Father.
hello.
Oh. Hello. What's your name?
Frederick.
That's a nice name.
Thank you.
So, where are you from?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, I hear it's lovely there. But what are you doing here?
Oh, just passing through, I think. There's somewhere I have to go. I just haven't found where yet.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I'm, enjoying the journey.
So, How long have you been dead?
72 years.
That's an awfully long time.
It's all right. I enjoy the passing of it.
Where are you going now?
East. I think. It just feels right.
Well, good luck. It's an odd thing to meet a ghost. Your first impulse is to talk to them like they're a child, or a grandparent, or that weird place where the two become indistinct. The other is to ask them how they died, which is really a lot less informative than you think it would be. I mean, when we talk about the dead, it's never in terms of their death, so when we talk to them, why is it always the big question? Ironically, I suppose, you have to focus on life. I mean, did they have a partner, children? What was important to them? What defined their short time on this earth? I'm dead, by the way. You should know that. I died, 7, 8 years ago. I was 20. It was spring, a week before my break, April? March. It's not important. God, it's not important. Here I am talking about death. It's accident. That's all. It was nothing spectacular. What's important is how I lived, especially given how little time I ended up having. And God, I had a real appetite for it too. I wanted to see everything, meet every interesting person. I wanted to know everything in that adolescent way. I changed my major like 3 times. I was still on the track for 2 minors when I always took as many classes as the registrar would physically let me. I don't know. Maybe it's better this way. To be cut off going full speed rather than let down over so many decades. I don't think about it much. I suppose you're wondering why I'm here. My parents died, you see. If that doesn't call you home, I don't know what would. Anyway, here we are. My familial estate.
Hey.
How's it going?
Fine.
You sure?
This house is full of shit.
What?
I've told you this. I don't think my parents got rid of a single thing that didn't absolutely need to be thrown out. Like, seriously. Old newspapers and wrapping paper.
James.
They have 2 of everything, too. Pots, pans, every conceivable clothing item. You know how you always get on me for not having things? This is why they just have so much.
It's going well, then?
I'm getting through it. I'm meeting the real estate guy later. We should figure most of it out then. How are things with you?
Oh, fine. Yeah, business as usual. It's, strange not having you here. How is it being home?
I haven't stayed here for more than 2 weeks in a
Yeah, but
decade.
still.
I don't know. My parents are dead. It's just... It's just the house now.
Your childhood home.
Not really. I never liked this house. It was always too big. Especially after...
What's wrong?
Nothing. Something just fell over.
It's weird.
Yeah. I should go. What?
Didn't say anything.
You had a look.
It's just... You've been saying that a lot lately.
What?
I should go?
I've had a lot going on.
I know, and... No, I wouldn't say anything if it didn't seem like every time you said that you were holding something back.
What?
I don't know. You're holding something back, and I can't know what that is unless you tell me.
God, it's just so much more complicated than that, though.
See, I don't know what that means.
I mean, listen, can we just table this until we're face to face?
Seriously?
Yes. I mean, no, it's not like that. It's just there are things I need to tell you, and I can't do it over the phone. I don't know if that makes sense, but...
James.
Fuck.
Asshole.
Theo?
He's not ready yet. He's not. He's not ready yet. I don't know what that was. I don't even know who that woman was. I mean, it's... People all process grief in their own way, so I suppose it makes sense reaching out to past... God, he's not ready yet.
How do you feel?
I imagine somewhat similar to sausage just after it's been cased.
Nonsense. A suit like that makes a man out of boys. It makes you look the proper part. Now come over here and look in the mirror. Let me tie your tie. Let me tie your tie.
About the human.
James.
No.
Oh my God. Sally? I haven't seen you in years. How have you been?
Fine.
Still in town?
Well, a couple of things have tied me down here.
Oh, you're not, are you?
Twins.
Congratulations. Sorry,
It's alright, I understand. So, they're really gone.
Yeah.
That's insane. I can't imagine this place without them.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
What?
When did they arrange to get buried?
Next to Theo? When he died. They bought a family plot.
Oh.
I know. Deciding where to get buried right then and there. I suppose there was something poetic about it to them.
I can't imagine.
Me neither. Which is funny.
Why?
There's one spot left, which they neglected ever to tell me.
For you?
Uh-huh.
I think about him. Still. Sometimes.
I wondered.
No, I'm sorry. Actually, no. You know what? I'm not actually sorry. We just sat there for like 35 minutes talking about the finer points of kitchen decoration. By about minute 15, I really just wanted to scream. I mean, God, it's mundane to an extreme degree. What?
Listen, I'm only going to say this once. The type of life you're leading right now, in college, where everyone's intellectually stimulating and open and wanting to have deep conversations all the time, it doesn't last. And that's okay. But listen, that mundanity you're choosing to make fun of publicly, that is my life. That is how I've chosen to live it. And maybe someday it won't seem so bad to you either.
I'm not coming home for winter break.
What?
I'm going to stay on campus, do research with a professor.
You can't do that remotely?
No.
You don't want to see your family, your grandparents?
There will always be other holidays.
They won't be around forever.
I know.
And I know your brother would want to see you.
No. I'm pretty sure he'll want to spend time with his friends. Like always. Does he even live in this house anymore? I never fucking see him, do you? Look, by the end of the year, I'll have my name in journals. That's big. Bigger than another Christmas. Same as all the others.
You know, stewing never really suited you.
Theo?
Hey.
You're here.
They're really gone?
Yeah?
I heard. I felt it. I knew it, somehow, so here I am.
Were you at the funeral?
No.
I thought that...
I know. A lot of people have that sort of thing, but... How was the funeral?
Lord, I don't know. I planned it the best I could.
Huh. Tells me everything I need to know.
Oh, fuck you. So, are you back?
Until time immemorial? I don't know. They don't really hand you a instruction manual when you die. It just sort of happens. I'm here now. Is that enough?
Yes.
Good. So, God, how are you?
Well...
I suppose it is poor timing. How have you been?
Good. Honestly, good. Other than the last few weeks, life's been working out for me.
Still in town?
No, I work at a college up north.
Teaching.
Yeah, classics.
You always wanted to teach.
Yeah. It's good. I'm tenure track. It's not tenure, but it's a start.
You're what, 27?
29.
Oh, that's good. So, what are you doing?
Cleaning. They left it in a state, you know. I mean, was it always this messy?
Yes. You were just used to it.
Well, several years of cramped apartments have clearly gotten me unused to it.
How did it happen?
Mom had been declining for a while. She had a stroke 8 months back and just cognitive decline from there. Dad was close to putting her in a home, but it became clear the decline was accelerating and there wasn't much of a point. After that, I don't know. He just didn't have the heart to keep on going.
Sounds peaceful.
Doctors are good at making it sound that way.
And how's the service?
Fine.
Give a good speech?
I didn't speak.
What?
I didn't speak.
What, did you give a reading
I couldn't.
or?
Not Catholic.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You were baptized.
I wasn't confirmed.
That's a detail. You could have
I
lied.
think that goes against the principle of the whole thing. Besides, what does it matter?
It was their funeral.
They weren't there. Besides, if other people want to talk, let them. They were the last people in this goddamn town I ever needed to justify myself to.
And what's gonna happen to all this?
What do you mean?
All their stuff?
Gotten rid of, mostly. I mean, it's junk.
And the house?
I'm selling it.
What?
What else am I supposed to do with it?
It's your childhood home.
No! It's your childhood home. We didn't move here until I was like 9.
You grew up here.
It's just a house. It's not like living in it imbued it with value.
That's
somehow.
exactly what it means.
You know I don't live here. You know I don't live anywhere near here. Why in the world would I keep this place? Keep it as what? A vacation home? Drive 12 hours each weekend to this massive empty house. For what? To watch the corn grow?
It is good-looking corn.
It is. That's not the point.
I don't get it.
It just doesn't make sense. I can't afford it. I don't need it. Stop being so sentimental.
I'm not sentimental.
You are the most sentimental person I've ever met. Grow up. Theo? Theo? You're angry at me? Listen, I understand how it feels to lose that concrete sense of place. That idea of home you can tie to a place, to a physical location. That gets broken after college. You just never made it that far. God, the yearbooks. I always hated these things. Much more your style. Weren't they? Most sentimental piece of... Weren't you voted one of the superlatives? Most likely to succeed or something?
Most likely to be elected president.
Much more your style.
Yeah. More based on charm than success.
You know, you would have made a good politician.
It would have suited me.
Yeah, it would have. You were always the one with potential.
Oh, please. You were the smart one. And the favorite.
You know, you'd be shocked how perceptions over that sort of thing change when one party is dead. You've walked on water since that accident.
Doesn't sound too bad.
I was a little envious.
You got on, though.
I left. I got a shitty teaching job, researched, published, worked my way up to progressively less shitty teaching jobs.
Classics.
Yeah, I know.
I'll never understand it.
Things make more sense in Latin.
Oh, is that your line?
You know, it is. When you're in a specialty and someone asks you why you're interested in it, they don't want you to go into the details of the profession. They want a quip. A one-liner, something to get the entire dinner party chortling, and I've been in the field almost a decade at this point, and it still hasn't come to me. You never needed that. Fucking bio major.
Oh, you forget my short but distinguished career as an English major.
Yeah, that was a good semester for you, wasn't it?
Pick it up. God, who is this woman that keeps calling you?
She's my fiancee.
Oh my heavens. Miracles do occur.
All right, that was unnecessary.
I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit in shock. Who is she? Is she of sound body and mind?
Yes! I don't know. Her name's Chrissy. We've been dating for 5 years now.
Chrissy?
Yeah?
I don't like her name.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you like about her?
That's an awfully broad question.
What's the first thing you noticed about her?
She has a scar on her cheek.
What? Wait, no.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you...
God's honest truth. Some wildly banal math teacher introduced us, and that was the first thing I could think to blurt out. Not exactly tactful, and yet here we are.
It's very... you. Where's it from?
What?
No, the scar.
Oh, a knife fight.
Wait, really?
Of course not. What sort of women do you think I attract? No, it was a kitchen accident.
Much better.
I don't appreciate the Inquisition, though.
What?
No, not from the king of the coy smile and the evading response. I know you remember every break home from college. You're such a handsome young man. The women must be all over you. And you'd smile and you'd joke, and not a single straight answer.
What makes you think there's a straight answer?
See, that... What does that mean? I mean, you said words and they fit together in a grammatical sense. You said absolutely nothing.
It's an art.
I guess so.
I mean, there were girls.
Yeah, I figured you just didn't want to tell anyone about them.
I, unlike some people, could lead different lives and not find them incongruous.
What the hell does that mean?
You left and you never came back.
Fuck you.
No, that hurt them. You know? They were scared to send me off afterwards. Afraid that they'd lose me too.
Clearly, they should have been.
They never had much hope for you romantically. The whole fiancé thing comes as quite the shock. Though I suppose they'd be happy, they always wanted grandkids. Would have been nice, honestly, to have a little less pressure on that front. They had hope for me!
I'm all alone now. Look, I don't know if you're here, but I'm packing it all away now. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to see one last time, but it's all going in a box for a while. I don't know the rules. I don't know if I'm going to leave here and that's it. I'll never see you again. It's all going away. So, please? Fine. I could never tell what you wanted from any of us. You seemed so often to be reaching out so desperately for something. Could never tell what it was. And I mean, I already had to bury you. It was done! Now you come back? You were always selfish in that way. You thought about others, but you didn't think very hard. Didn't really consider the situation that they were in. You got all the credit of being the concerned loved one without any of the actual strife. God damn it, Theo!
So what are we, medical school then?
I don't know. It's still early.
You know, your father and I are very proud of you, honey.
I figured.
How are things going socially?
Fine.
You know, I'd already brought your mother home to my parents when I was your age.
Subtle.
Oh, come on. I didn't mean it like that. We just want you to be happy.
I am happy, Dad. I really, genuinely am.
We were never inseparable, you know? That word got thrown around a lot about us after the funeral. Don't get me wrong, we were brothers, but we were always very distinct. Not always. We had the same origin point, but we ended up different. I don't really understand where we split, where our lives started going in different directions.
You know, I was at this party once.
How long have you been there?
Long enough. Anyway, I was at this party.
What are you doing?
I'm answering your question. Anyway, party.
God, this is how all your stories start, isn't it?
Gosh. So anyway, I was at this party once. This dance, one of the school-sponsored ones. It's shit. Almost famously so. Everyone's there, drunk off their asses, crammed in this god-awful gym, this fucking meat grinder. Everyone always dances around the edges, you know? Anyway, I was there with my friends when, this lanky brunette chemistry major bursts in through the great horde and grabs my friend, my lover at the time, and, pulls her along.
God, you're one of those.
What?
One of those people that had lovers in their 20s.
What? I did.
Oh. No, you just fucked and had commitment issues. Calling someone your lover makes it sound like you met in a Parisian cafe.
I think you'll find beer-stained couches have much the same appeal.
You're giving it too much flair.
So sue me. Anyway, so she grabs my hand and pulls me along too, and there we are, these three idiotic, wasted sophomores just snaking our way through the crowd until we reach front and center. And I mean, the DJs were right there. The music was in our fucking faces, and I've never felt that central before. Like I was at the fulcrum of it all. And I'm pretty sure all of us threw up multiple times later that evening and couldn't hear for like a fucking week. But I don't regret a second of it. And with years of better judgment looking back on the events, I think that represented a turning point in my life. Now, my life could have gone two different directions that night. I could have stayed in my corner, in my place, or I could let myself get pulled into the center of it all.
You really don't regret it?
Not a second.
You know, they did a tox report with your autopsy. Our parents hid it away. They didn't want me to see.
Why?
Come on, I'm still their son. I mean, I had 2 degrees at that point, but I was still just their little boy.
So what did you do?
I snuck downstairs at 3 a.m. and I cracked it open. It's not like they locked it up or anything.
And what did you find?
Alcohol or marijuana.
Tell it all.
Cocaine.
There you go. Think what my life would have been if I'd gone down that other path. If my friend hadn't come out of the crowd, or if I hadn't followed, maybe it would have been more stable. Less highs, less lows. I don't know. But you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't.
God. There's nearly a decade of these things. You were coming in just as I was leaving. Isn't that strange? You were in honor society? I always forget that.
So were you.
Shit. I'd forgotten.
Of course you had. It's a useless organization.
Wait, weren't you president?
Ah, you bet your ass I was. No. Here's the thing. I got into Honor Society. I was elected president of Honor Society. And then I was kicked out of Honor Society. And I am so proud of all three.
You would be.
What were you, the fucking secretary?
Treasurer.
Figures. I never got it. I never understood what we were honoring.
Intelligence?
Yeah, I mean, but that's so vague. I mean, it's not the same as the other honor societies that were honoring reading or math or literature or whatever. It was just intelligence. I mean, quantify that.
IQ?
I mean, but that's just a number. It says nothing about who you are or how you see the world or even if you have any potential. It's
vague.
Exactly.
You know, I have to tell you, the whole constant state of rebellion thing really starts to run thin by the time you're about 25.
Yeah, I know. No, actually, I was reliably informed what I would find ridiculous looking back. Ironically, it's become sort of a moot point. It's a shame, though. I was sort of looking forward to getting old.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, not middle age. I don't think anyone can reasonably look forward to that, but I figured there would be a point when I was about 70 where all sex drive and ambition would finally die and I could be free.
Wasn't that a choice, though?
Not really. It's who I was.
Give yourself some credit. You do have a little control over your life.
Ha! You don't think we're just playing bad caricatures of ourselves at a point?
And anyway, middle age isn't that bad.
You're not even 30.
Shush.
How dare you?
It's scary. It's just the rest of your life. Marriage, career, life.
You're not even married.
I'm engaged.
To a girl whose calls you aren't taking?
If you'd ever been in a serious relationship, you'd realize it's more common than you'd think.
But you're happy.
I am. It's just complicated. I'm reaching that point in my life in which friends get married. Apparently, this time period is a tradition stretching quite a ways back, so our parents used to reminisce about it at least once every 3 months. I don't say that my friends should be getting married. They shouldn't. I've been to more weddings than I can remember at this point, and I can count on one hand the number I felt genuinely good about. Don't get me wrong, the majority at least were beautiful ceremonies. I even held out hope for a significant number of them for a lasting, successful relationship, but so few felt like really the natural, the next step for this relationship, these people. The rest, not the rest, but so many are just settling. They're scared they'll never find true love, whatever that means. So they find someone they love enough. Enough to get through the days together, and they're scared to be alone, not even forever, but just at the end of the night. They're afraid to sit back and be with just themselves. This is not a condemnation. It's not. I know those fears. Maybe if things had been different, I'd be making those same decisions that my friends have.
Beautiful. But admit it. You're as scared as the rest.
I don't deny it.
Oh yeah? Why aren't you married?
I don't know.
What, haven't gotten round to it yet?
Honestly, sort of. Life just kind of gets... Oh, Father.
Hello.
Didn't know that God made house calls.
Oh, no, this isn't like that.
Not trying to, convert me?
You don't seem like the type that needs religion.
I'm not.
Yeah, I picked up that much.
Sorry, I don't know if that's offensive.
Not really. In fact, as non-religious offspring dealing with their parents' strict Catholic instructions, you did better than most.
Thanks.
You're not angry.
No.
Most people are.
There's never been a gap in my life that religion or lack of religion, whatever, filled. I've never particularly needed direction in my life, and at the end of the day, I've never been overly concerned with death.
Really?
I mean, scared of dying. Yeah, I'm only human. When I'm on a high ledge or almost run over by a car, I'm scared. But the anxiety over what comes after has always just felt too foreign for me to be overly concerned with it. And that's sort of your whole department, isn't it?
I've always thought how religion teaches us shows consideration of the next life as a healthy way to view how we live now, to drive us towards something.
I've always been driven. To a fault, really. I wasn't on good terms with my parents.
I know.
What are you, their priest? Sorry. Bad joke. I think at a certain point, it just felt like they were getting in the way of things. Things I wanted to accomplish. And at a certain point, they were just another one of my problems. That's how I chose to deal with it.
By avoiding.
Indefinitely.
You know, there's a lot in the Bible about forgiveness.
I know. I've read it in the original Latin.
So have I.
Really?
Priests are academics, too.
A colleague of mine was writing a paper on depictions of angels. She asked for translating help.
Many-eyed creatures. They're interesting, aren't they?
Tell me, do you really believe all that?
Literally? I don't think it matters as much. I get what they were going for. The majesty of heaven, the nature of it all.
That's how you see it.
That's how I hope it is. Belief is not knowing.
So that could all be wrong. What were you going to be when you grew up?
What?
I just...
You know. A doctor. Why?
I was just thinking. You're the same age as my students. What would I think if you were in one of my classes?
You think I'd be caught dead in a classics
No,
course?
that's not...
Ah, God, I'd probably be trying to fulfill
That's
some
not-
godforsaken distributional
that's not what
requirement.
I see so many bright young things come in not just with ambitions, but plans. Real, hard set ideas about what they're going to be and what they need to get there. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not. It's just there's a certain rigidity to it. And I see sometimes that it just doesn't suit them. I see those same students sometimes with a spark, or the beginnings of a spark, somewhere unexpected and something they'd never considered. Most just brush it off. It's their right, after all, but some don't. Some pursue it into unknowns and unprofitable fields, and they don't know what they're doing. They haven't planned for it. They're just along for the ride. I don't know. I sometimes wonder which lot's happier.
What's your point?
I didn't... No. We didn't just mourn you. We mourned the doctor. Everything you were going to be, that potential. But that's so much more. What if you had had that spark? Gone off on a different path? That's a whole new person going onwards. I'm mourning some infinite amount of you.
You know, I don't think I realized it at the time, but I've recognized along the way that however I felt about the way our parents raised us, I wouldn't be the person I am today without it.
That's not exactly a revelation.
Oh, fuck off.
No! No, you don't get that anymore. You don't get to hide behind the tin pot philosophy. Of course your childhood defines who you are. Any freshman psych major could tell you that.
Then stop acting like you want to change it.
I do want to change it. I don't like my childhood. I've summed it up these past few years, and there's more bad memories than good. What do you do with that? What do you do with that?
They were trying to prepare you for the world. No, the world is a harsh place.
They were supposed to protect us. They couldn't even do that.
What are you talking about?
Who taught you how to drive? Hell, who taught you how to drink?
Don't.
The straight A student doesn't end up dead in a ditch by accident.
No. He doesn't.
What?
So fine. You hated our parents.
I didn't hate them. It's just, they're celebrated now.
Oh.
In the community. I mean, go 15 minutes out of town, no one's heard of them, but here they're important.
So?
It just doesn't sit right with me. Sure, it wasn't all bad, but to remember them without their faults just feels disingenuous.
Look, you're fine to remember them however you like, brother. You know, I had a lot of friends who had better, nicer upbringings than us. They're weak. They're at the mercy of the world. Our parents didn't want that for us. And yet here you are.
I'm not weak.
But you are! James, you are! You can't confront what's before you. You never could.
What do you think I'm doing?
There's no one left to fight back.
Fuck you! I have been trying!
It doesn't matter! It doesn't matter! You can't decide when to confront things. You can't pick your battles!
What are you talking about?
You didn't notice any other inconsistencies about my death? No, you noticed the drugs. You were prepared to confront that, but nothing else.
About the accident?
It wasn't an accident.
Stop it.
No. Face it. God, look at me!
No!
How did I die?
I don't know!
But you do, James! You do! There wasn't a crash. There wasn't even damage to the car.
How did you do it then?
Gone.
Oh.
Hello?
Hi.
Can I help you?
Is James home?
He went out. Why?
I'm James's girlfriend.
Oh. Oh, no.
What?
Oh, nothing. Sorry.
Sorry, you are?
I'm Theo. I'm an old friend.
Oh.
We went to high school together.
That's great. And James doesn't talk about his home much.
That doesn't surprise me.
Theo. That's an old-fashioned sort of name.
It's a family one.
Oh, I like it. It suits your character.
Thanks. James said you were an accountant?
Oh, yeah. It's what pays the bills.
Ah. Not your calling?
Not exactly. What do you do?
Nothing much lately. James has told me a lot about you.
All good?
You tell me.
I would certainly hope so.
No, I'm genuinely asking. It's just you're the first girl James has talked about seriously.
You want to know if I'm worth it?
Do you blame me?
How did you say you know James again?
Old friend.
Right. Well, you shouldn't worry after James. He's happy. We're happy.
I mean, I know James is happy. He's with his books, in his university. He's in the same place he's always been. I just never figured a woman would figure into that.
You ever consider he's grown up?
Oh my God! What are you doing here?
You tell me. You weren't returning my calls, my texts.
I'm sorry. The last couple days have been a lot.
Are you all right?
Yeah. I really am.
I was just talking to your friend,
My friend?
who appears to have left spontaneously.
Oh. You met him.
Yeah, he seemed nice.
He's a little erratic.
Took a couple days off.
You didn't have to do that.
You weren't answering my calls, my texts.
Yeah?
So?
What?
How old are you?
That's a rhetorical question. You know how old
You
I am.
are too old to be ghosting people.
Come on.
I was worried about you.
I've had a lot going on.
So tell me. Just fucking tell me.
I wanted to. I really did. I just couldn't find the right words.
You could have just told me that.
Would you have been satisfied with that?
Probably not. But it's better than nothing. Every one of those conversations is just the starting off point to the next. And that's fine. It's imperfect and it's fine, but if the conversation stops, I mean, what's the point?
I do love you.
I know that. You don't have to say that.
I know. I'm sorry. I should have told you more. There's a lot that I have to tell you, but can you give me just a minute? Don't give me that look.
So, where's your fiancée?
That was her.
Didn't seem to be her idea of the whole
Okay,
concept.
so I haven't actually proposed yet.
You know that's a fairly big thing,
I'm
right?
going to, though. And I don't know, when I made that decision, Just calling her that made it all feel so much more real.
So just do it.
What, in my dead parents' house?
In your childhood home.
On the occasion of my parents' death.
That's not the problem here. The problem, as always, is that you are too weak to confront what's before you.
Do not do that!
Do what?
Equate that!
Fuck you.
No! Fuck you! This... Don't stick what were your problems onto mine. Don't think to blame me for things that you did. I'm sorry, Theo. Theo! Wait!
What's wrong?
Nothing. Something just fell on me.
What is it?
Just more old stuff.
So what's been going on with you?
It's just this place.
What, regressing a little?
I guess. I don't know it. I don't even have fond memories of home. Me and them just hadn't gotten along in so long.
You sound 16.
Please. I wish it were angst. It's just unhappiness.
With them?
Did I ever tell you about my brother?
You've alluded to him.
He killed himself.
Jesus.
And no one talked about it. No one said what it seems everyone knew. The death certificate says accident. It's how it was reported. Talked about. There was so much about him that was just tastefully concealed, but that one thing had to be fundamentally changed.
That makes sense. They were Catholic.
What?
Suicide is a mortal sin.
We fought a lot more after that.
They blamed you?
They blamed everybody. He was sort of difficult as a person. Wasn't someone you could have a neutral opinion of, I'll say that. Wasn't someone you could have a purely positive or negative opinion of either. He'd act like you were best friends one day. get in a screaming match with you the following week. When he died, everyone seemed to conveniently forget all that and just remember the good times. They were good. There's no denying that. So he's remembered as an angel. Still is, but the one person that people, especially my parents, couldn't forget about all that fighting with was me. Apparently, as a brother, as a big brother, I was supposed to be better than everyone. And I just wasn't. They couldn't forgive me for it. I'm sorry.
No.
I think I've been trying to get that off my chest for a while now.
It's okay. Thank you for telling me. How long has it been?
God. 7, 8 years? It's strange to think about.
You never talk about him.
No. He's in the past now. It was just a memory. My memory.
And being home brought those memories back.
In ways that you couldn't ever imagine. I hate this town. It was never the right fit for me, but when you're a son of pillars of the community, that sort of thing doesn't really get heard.
So?
What?
You don't live here
Why?
anymore.
Why do I suddenly feel like I'm going to miss
When
it?
was the last time you were here?
Christmas. Probably.
I mean, for an extended stay.
College. I guess.
Have you considered that you've continued to grow and change as a person since then?
Not particularly.
James.
I just never thought I'd be the kind of person to fit in here.
What do you mean?
Domestic. Insular with that small town feel.
Domestic? Are you finally thinking about settling down?
Yes, I figured we need to stop hitting the town every night.
Oh, God.
No more classics department keggers for us.
Next thing I know, you're going to propose.
You would be so lucky.
You would.
I would. But I do have a little more taste than to do it in my dead parents' house.
Let's go out.
For what?
I don't know. Bite to eat? You just have to get out of this house for a while. And besides, I want you to show me around.
All right.
All right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
They actually did it.
Yeah.
A full replica. All that for me.
Guess so.
That's quite something.
It certainly is.
I don't like it.
What?
What? What? Why are you laughing?
Do you have any idea how much work Mom and Dad put into that thing? How much fucking money?
Yeah, that sounds like that.
Yeah, I mean, they made it special, too. Not a mold or a reconstruction or anything. A full new work for you.
Looking at it now, it seems sort of out of place.
Wasn't that the point?
Maybe.
It is beautiful.
It is. Did you ever hate me?
Of course not.
Really? I mean, I was pretty hateable.
No.
No, seriously, I have a punchable face.
You do. You really do. I never hated you. I didn't.
You disliked me.
We're brothers.
But you never hated me.
No.
You know what's off about it? It's too perfect.
Is it?
It's got all its limbs and everything. It's not weathered.
It's complete. As it would have been.
When?
Ancient Greece?
Yeah, I wasn't around back then. Were you?
Come on. Are you saying that you regret it?
Maybe. Maybe I am.
See, now you can see the benefit of the status quo.
What?
I mean, how many people do you really think regret their graves?
Oh, any number. I think a great deal more regret their lives.
Well, maybe.
Do you have any regrets?
What?
Regrets about life.
I think somewhere along the way I accepted that life is very finite. You have to make choices, and no matter how much you reason with it or trust your gut, there's a very real possibility that you'll get it wrong. That's okay. You can't go back. You can't fix it. You just have to live with it.
Imperfections.
Not even just mistakes. Just a life lived not as it ought to be. No, I think it's just accepting that no matter how much you'd like to, you'll never be able to love everyone you should. Or even to try every vocation you could, everything you'll dedicate your life to. You don't even get to decide. I mean, you so rarely know in a moment that it's going to be important. It's just guesswork, chance, and at a certain point, you just have to get on with it. Make those decisions. Love someone. Do something with your life. What's the worst that could happen? You waste your life? No, I think somewhere along the way I lost the idea that there was someone I was supposed to be with, or something I was supposed to do, to achieve. No, I'm just here. Trying to make the best of it. So, regrets?
You're not very sentimental.
Guess not.
So, you really gonna marry her?
I think so. I think I really might.
It's good. I am happy for you.
You're not even here right now.
Says who?
Me? The laws of the universe? You're not here, you're there.
How did they do it? Did they just have like a bucket and tip it in?
There's an urn.
Ah, figures. So, what happens now?
I go home. Back to my apartment. Back to the university. Back to Chrissy.
Home.
Home. I'm tired. I hate this town. I really do. I always do.
So did I. And I got out. And I stayed out. And where did I end up? Right back fucking here. God.
Where else would you be, brother?
I don't know. I always figured I'd be cremated. Who would want a open casket funeral with how things ended? I don't know. I liked the idea of being spread somewhere, like an ocean or something.
An ocean?
Yeah.
We're in the Midwest. Where the fuck were we gonna find an ocean? I mean, the best you could have asked for would be a larger than average lake.
I would have never forgiven you.
I cannot believe you, Theo. You got a fucking statue. No, an entire Greek statue in the middle of a deeply conservative, largely Christian graveyard. And you don't even like it.
I mean, I don't not like it. It's striking. Do people stare?
With confusion, generally.
Good. That was sort of the point. You have thoughts about your grave?
I don't really care. Hell, I'm going right there. Last spot in our family plot. I don't know, I thought maybe an Irish cross.
Nice. Classy.
Yeah. I should go. Everything's settled. Everything was settled days ago. The bags are packed. Classes start in a couple weeks. Have to go do final prep. I always like the start of the school year. New beginnings. We thought we'd come back one weekend to get the last of the things.
I won't be here.
Okay.
Here. You should have this.
I don't know.
Just take it. If nothing else, it's a beautiful ring.
I love you.
I love you too. Be safe.